GDKO is a game jam tournament where each round the top half of games get to progress to the next round, and in the final round, 5 devs will face off to see who is the true champion. I participated in the jam for the first time this year, and I thought it'd be fun to give my top 10 games from the first round of the tournament. I played 76 of the 200 entries, so I may have missed a great game, but these are my favorites that I played. So let's start with number 10 and then count down to my favorite game from the jam. Number 10 is the Moon Tower Part 0. Moon Tower is a classic turn-based JRPG with an absolutely insane art style that I love. The gameplay is fun and reminds me of Super Nintendo RPGs from back in the day, and it has a cool mechanic where you get to attack twice if you find the enemy's weakness. The soundtrack is just as wild and cool as the art style in this game. You definitely need to check this game out to experience the insanity of the Moon Tower. As a big fan of RPGs, it was a lot of fun to play through one in this game jam. Number 9 is Dig Deep. Dig Deep is a game all about mining rocks and then mining those rocks even faster. It's got an incredibly satisfying progression system, where you go from slowly mining rocks to clearing most of the screen in seconds. It's got a nice upgrade tree, where you upgrade your mining damage, range, and gain the ability to mine multiple rocks at once. It's the perfect type of game to just turn your brain off and have a great time mindlessly mining rocks, so you can become the best rock miner of all time. Number 8 is Hold My Wand. Hold My Wand is an incremental game that seems to be inspired by a game that I love, Nodebuster. You play as a wizard on a quest to collect gems so that you can level up and kill more monsters to collect even more gems. It's got a huge skill tree and a fun progression curve, where you start out weak, and then you'll be one-shotting big groups of monsters as you level up. Each wave has levels so you can make monsters stronger over time and get even more gems. There's nothing better than a huge skill tree and mindlessly killing monsters. Hold My Wand is great. Number 7 is Project Spackle. Project Spackle bills itself as a turn-based Pac-Man-like game in space. Your goal is to visit every node in the area without being caught by the other spaceships. The tactics are a lot of fun, as you can see where the enemy is planning to move on its next turn. This helps you plan where you should go. It's also got some nice depth to the strategy, with special nodes that attract and repel the opposing ships. This game's got it all. Nice presentation, a funny story, solid gameplay, and a good bit of challenge towards the end. I'd definitely recommend checking out Project Spackle. Number 6 is Flower Quest. Flower Quest is a 2D side-scrolling puzzle game where you're on a mission to plant a flower in a pot. As you explore the world, you'll jump around and throw objects to solve various puzzles and obtain that glorious flower that you desire. The art style is absolutely adorable, and it's one of my favorite games visually from the jam. It feels like the type of game that just about anybody would enjoy. I had a great time exploring this world and would have kept playing as long as there was more content. Flower Quest is an absolute gem. Number 5 is Sacrifice. Sacrifice is an active time card battling game that's incredibly fun. You can choose to play your cards or sacrifice them to generate blood for using your cards or drawing more of them. Cards can be played on your own hero or on the enemy, which leads to some really interesting decision making. One mechanic that I really enjoyed is that you can lower the enemy's attack into negative values, so they heal you when they attack. The fact that this card game is active time rather than turn-based means you have to think on your toes, because the enemy's next attack is always on its way, whether you're ready or not. Sacrifice is a lot of fun in a stressful kind of way. Number 4 is Scarlet Scissors. Scarlet Scissors is a top-down action boss rush game with an incredible art style. Each boss has its own unique set of attacks, and some of them are quite challenging, which I really enjoyed. You gain an extra scissor to throw at your enemies for each boss you defeat, so if one is giving you trouble, you can take down the other bosses to power up for whichever one you find toughest. The game has a cool story and some nice music combined with great special effects to really make this game feel like a complete experience. If you're a fan of top-down action games, I definitely recommend checking out Scarlet Scissors. Number 3 is Supercube. I love 3D platformers, and platformers in general. From the 3D Mario games to Banjo-Kazooie, I've played a ton of them and loved them. Supercube is a great 3D platformer. with tight controls and a really great feeling double jump and dash. It's got some fun optional collectibles to find and challenge the player with getting to their hidden locations. It also has an absolute banging soundtrack to listen to while you jump around. I would have loved to have a speedrun timer on this game, because I absolutely would have gone back and played more to see what's the best time I could get. You should definitely play Super Cube. Number 2 is Dung Battles. Who doesn't love Katamari Damacy? It's so satisfying to roll everything up and see how big your ball can get. The developer decided to make a competitive version of Katamari, and the fact that they did it in just 2 weeks is crazy. The game gets so hectic when you're trying to outpace your opponents and you accidentally run into a wall and lose a bunch of the stuff from your dung ball. The art style in this game is incredibly charming, and it's just incredibly polished overall. I could see this game being a ton of fun if multiplayer was added, or I'd really like to see a campaign like Katamari has too. Dung Battles is a ton of fun, and you should definitely check it out. And the number 1 game from the Game Jam is All In. All In is a roguelike casino management strategy game. Each round you get more rooms to add to your casino, so you can try and reach the ever-increasing required coin amount to survive until the next round. There are a good number of patrons, and they all have a bunch of rules that give them bonuses or possible negative values based on where you place them in the casino and who they're sat next to. The dopamine I received from building a huge casino and watching my patrons generate a ton of coins was unmatched. The game also has achievements and new rooms and patrons that unlock regularly, so there's always an incentive for just one more run. I played this game for way longer than I meant to, and overall, it was my favorite game from the Jam. And that's it for my top 10. Let me know in the comments below if you think this list is crazy, or if I omitted your favorite game from the list. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to see me make games live or play these Game Jam games, I stream weekdays from noon to 4 Pacific time on Twitch. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.